Hi guys, and welcome back to Tracy's Allotment. So today we're doing rhubarb chutney. Make sure you've got some sterilised jars handy. And what we're going to have, my onion is quite big because it's what we've grown at the allotment, but we only need two medium onions. But like I say, mine's massive because we've grown it at the allotment. So what we're going to do, we're going to start off by chopping our onion. And this chutney that we're making, when we cut the onion, it's not going to disintegrate entirely, so we do want to cut the onion quite fine. So as you can see there, I am cutting it quite fine. Once it's quite fine, I just run my knife over the whole pile of onion there as well and just break it down even further. So I wasn't crying at this point. My eyes was absolutely watering with the onions. But yeah, so just chop this as finely as you can for the chutney mix. Next thing what we're going to do, we're going to prepare our rhubarb. Again, this is what we've grown at the plot. And I'm just going to top and tail, so take the bottom off of the rhubarb stalk, and I'm just going to take the top off because I've had this a few days and it tends to go a little bit soft from the top. So what I'm also going to do is I'm going to take some of the outer skin off. It's not essential that you do this, but sometimes it doesn't boil down and it sort of comes be quite hard and stringy in the chutney. So I tend to take it off, but it's not a necessity. Again, if you see any hard bits or bits that need cutting out, just take this opportunity to do it now. But yeah, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to top and tail all of our rhubarb and take any bits off that we don't want and take the outer skin off. Not fully, just as much as we can really. So the next thing what we're going to do is we're going to need to chop our rhubarb. And again, the rhubarb will break down as you're boiling, so it's not really essential that you get the size of this spot on, but usually it's about an inch and a half sort of pieces, and then it's just easier for it to break down and as it's bubbling away in the pan. So what we're going to get ready next is the sultanas, brown sugar, our spices. We've got the onions already diced in the pan and our rhubarb. So basically we're just going to pop all of this into the pan. So as I say, we've got our sultanas there. There's the rhubarb going in. You can use a muscovado sugar, but I just tend to use the light brown. In there we've got our mixed spice, salt, pepper, cayenne pepper, and I put a little bit of chilli powder in there as well, but just a smidge and just a touch. So there's quite a bit of sugar that goes into this, and as I say, it's the brown sugar, so that will give it a bit of a caramelly kind of taste, I suppose. We've got our mustard going in there as well, and we're just going to pop this onto the hob, and we're just going to put it on a very low heat, and we're just going to let that sort of break down and give it a stir a couple of times so that it doesn't catch and doesn't stick, and then you'll end up with a little mixture like this. And the next thing what we're going to do is we're going to add our cider vinegar at this point. Once the cider vinegar's in, we're going to crank the heat up, not a lot but just a touch, to try and bring it to a sort of low simmer, but slowly bringing it to that simmer stage and stirring occasionally as we go. And as the process goes on, you will see that the sauce does start to reduce down and thicken. Don't put a lid on your pan, because if you do, then it won't reduce down and it won't thicken. So yeah, leave the lid off and just have it at a little simmer and stir frequently, just so it doesn't catch on the bottom, because with the sugar being in there it will catch, and especially as it gets more thicker throughout the process, it's more likely to stick. And as you can see, that's the kind of consistency there that we want, a nice thick sauce. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put it into our sterilised jars, and you can see there that it is quite thick. It has cooled slightly at that point, so my jars are sterilised. I put them in the oven. I wash them in hot soapy water, and I just put them in the oven to dry them, and that kills them. That kills any bacteria and things like that on them. So yeah, I haven't got a funnel yet, guys, but I am improvising. So yeah, so we're just gonna put this into our sterilised jars, and this in a sealed jar will keep for up to 1 year in a jar. So I leave mine to cool, then I put the lids on, and then just store them in the cupboard. I have people do the water bathing and canning sort of thing, but I don't. I just sterilise my jars, let it cool, put the lid on, and put it in the cupboard. And like I say, if once opened, it will need to be stored in the fridge, and it'll keep for about 6 weeks once it's opened. If you have any questions, just drop it in the comments, and thanks for watching, guys. Catch you on the next one.